Well, hello there, Dippers, and welcome back to Game 27 of the Ducks on the Pond podcast. As always, Dippers, I'm your host, Drake, joined by the man, the producer, Leighton Pip Shavendon.
Officially owe the speed bump that is the MLB season.
And our guest host today, Lex Glasgow.
The speed bump is not over in the National League, Leighton.
The speed bump is not over. In fact, at the beginning of the season and all season, we thought today would be the last day. But everything's pointing towards a game 163. Dippers, be sure to listen to Knuckle Sandwich every Thursday. Listen to Sauce on the Sign, the Mothership Show on Mondays, Fantasy 15 every Friday, and Food for Thought with Fletch and Hartley on Saturdays. Guys, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Saucy Pod. Make sure you subscribe, download, rate, all on Spotify and iTunes. Give us that 5-star review. Like I said, we may be in store for a game 163, so we will discuss that. We will give our opinions on what we think about a 163rd game. We'll kind of look back over the season and give you if our season ended right now from game 1 and compare it to what we have now. And the Ohtani watch is finally coming to an end. But before we get to any of this, Leighton C., producer, you know what to do.
Hey, Ducks on the Pond here, kid. Ducks on the Pond. Let's go now, baby. Drive 'em in. Welcome to Ducks on the Pond.
A Sauce on the Side production. So guys, last day of the regular season. Normally, this is how we end the show. But today, it makes a great segue to start it off. If the season ended right now, let's go ahead and look back to Game 1 of the Ducks on the Pond podcast. AL East, we had the Red Sox. The AL Central, we had the Twins. The AL West, we had the Angels. The AL wildcard teams were your Astros and Blue Jays. Guys, we've come a long way. Pretty surprising that we had the Blue Jays and Twins in the playoffs, especially the Angels.
The Angels.
That was back when Ohtani was
in the American League West, actually.
Yeah, that was back whenever Ohtani was a full man.
Yeah. That was just half a man.
April baseball really doesn't really matter too much after the first week, boys.
April baseball matters a ton right now.
It does right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
a ton right now because we have two divisions that are deadlocked at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And, normally I always see people post, don't be complaining whenever your team's a game out and misses the playoffs by a game whenever you didn't care about that.
Around the 12th inning in week 1 to the Pirates or something.
Yes, and you know what? This is the first year that I've seen that. This is the first year that I've been able to just sit there and be like, they're right. They are right. Like, every game matters. So, guys, we'll go to the NL and talk about if the season ended right now from Game 1. So, the NL East, we had the Mets. Wow. I'm pretty sure they were like 12-1 or 11-1 to start the season.
They were really hot. Then we had that week where they batted like $1.22 for 10 days or something, and that's when the shit went off the rails.
Yeah.
That's when it got hurt and they forgot how to hit.
$1.21, I'm pretty sure that's their batting average whenever DeGrom's on the mound. But the NL Central was the Pirates. The NL West, the Diamondbacks, basically all season until like the last half of a month. And then the NL wildcard teams, the Phillies and the Cardinals.
Not even in the playoffs right now.
No, not a single
Not
one.
a single one.
Baseball really does not matter.
There's only 2 teams that were in all of baseball that were at the top in the playoffs right now: the Astros and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
As a matter of fact, you notice if you bring the AL East, the Red Sox, and you bring it now, still the Red Sox.
They were wire-to-wire winners, and Leighton
That's called domination.
Leighton, wait a second. Are you ready to go ahead and say that they've got it wrapped up?
No.
So
No, now we do.
Okay, now
we got home field advantage sealed.
Okay.
They cannot be changed at this point.
But if the season ended right now, Game 27 edition, AL East, still the Red Sox, wire-to-wire winners, one of the most impressive seasons probably in baseball history. They just completely dominated from out of the gates, dominated all season, and Leighton, did they ever have a stretch where, like, you know how you look at their last 10 games? Did they ever have a stretch where they were like sub 500? Because I don't remember any time.
When they lost that 3-game series with the Indians. They were like 4-6, but I think that was the only time.
Yeah, that was the only time that I could think. That was the only time they got swept all season, wasn't it?
Yes,
And that's with Chris Sale missing, what, close to a month or two?
about a month and a half.
A month and a
almost
half,
2 months
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, so
That is
they were out
crazy.
without their best pitcher, he's not going to win the Cy Young.
I know.
Yeah, that's crazy though. That because I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, I don't even remember the Red Sox ever struggling at all this season. But the AL Central for about 2 weeks now, the Indians have been clinched.
That's bullshit.
Yes, absolutely.
But if they have 89 wins until the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's crazy because
And they've been clinched for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, no, they clinched I think 81 or 82 wins.
Yes.
don't they have like the 8th best record in the AL?
I'll look
It's like
on
the
that,
sixth-
but
it's like the
at least,
seventh or
it's at least
something
the
like
6th or 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that if they redid the divisions, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs. Like if they just got rid of divisions, they wouldn't even be in the
This is
playoffs.
like when the Saints went like 5-10 and made the playoffs, or
Yeah.
5-11. It was awful.
That's pretty bad, honestly. If anything makes you want to change the division and how the playoffs are sealed, this would be one.
They currently had the 5th best record, but only a game ahead of the Rays, 2 games ahead of the Mariners.
Wow. Oh, so they would have snuck in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the AL West, we have the Astros. They are officially clinched. The Yankees have home field advantage in the wild card game, unfortunately to my take from a few months ago. And the Athletics are the second wild card team. Guys, the Athletics are awesome. I mean,
It's all cool.
they're just so cool.
If that's how I lose to one team, it had to be the Athletics, because it had to be a cool thing to have happen. I mean, it still sucked to lose it, but if one team had to beat
Do you
it.
guys give them a chance in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's a playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
7 games.
I give every
every
team that makes the MLB playoffs a chance because baseball. That's why.
Yeah.
Early in the season, when the Pirates, after also Rick won 7 straight or 8 straight,
Yeah.
anything can happen in baseball.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be interesting. I'm excited about the A's. I really think that they're gonna beat the Yankees, though. I don't know. It's just something about it because I already see the GIF in my head that's gonna be posted everywhere, and it's gonna have both of their payrolls.
If you want to see a really intense game today, watch the Yankees and the Red Sox. 2 teams with a whole lot to play for right there.
Yeah,
Yep, they don't want to arrest anybody. They're really trying to get that last win of the season.
yeah.
Well, you got Red Sox fans throwing balls off the top of the monster at Stanton and hitting
Dude,
him around at second base.
That guy had to fix. Dude, we need to get him into a spring training next year.
That's not that good of a throw. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's super elevated. I sent it to.
Unless he's jealous,
It's only like
throw it that far.
it's only like 200 feet, and he's well assisted by being 30 feet in the air, Leighton.
Hey, like how many times have you ever?
But that was pretty good to hit him in stride.
I would bet
He
you
hits- he-
anything
he's a
he did not
combination.
try to hit him in stride.
Oh yeah, no, he did. He
There's
did.
no chance he tried.
He's
to
better
hit
at hitting
him.
guys in
Yeah, he
stride
did.
than Nathan Peterman is.
He made a combination of Tom Brady and Mookie Betts. Put them together. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
I want him in spring training next year.
Who can hit guys in stride better, him or Nathan Peterman?
Oh, him.
Him
Peterman's awful.
definitely.
Yeah, him by far.
I can hit guys better than Peterman.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't take much.
Oh.
So the the NL race is a little bit jam packed still. We have 1 game left, and we have 2 division ties as we speak. The NL East, we have the Braves. They have clinched, and then this is where things get a little hairy. So the NL Central is actually at a deadlock with the Cubs and the Brewers, and the NL West is the Dodgers and the Rockies are at a deadlock, and your wild card team is one of the 2 teams that do not win the division.
Yeah, the National League has been a cluster all year, and just taking for this whole season, a cluster to the very last day, and could cluster go into tomorrow still.
Yeah. So, guys, what do you think about the potential of having a game 163 to decide? Because today, the Cubs, they have to play the Cubs will play the Cardinals, the Brewers will play the Tigers, the Rockies will play the Nats, and then the Dodgers play.
Dodgers play the. Who did they play, Lex?
They played yesterday.
Yeah.
Play the Giants.
They play the Giants, yeah. Leighton's NL West champions. He's officially come off of that.
Cap fell short of that.
That time of year where you give up on that take.
So, guys, how do you think this is going to wrap up? Do you think that we're going to have a game 163?
Well, it's hard for me to see the Brewers playing as good as they are losing to the Detroit Tigers. So I think they're going to win. I hope the Cubs win, too. Because just had a fan with no... my team not in 163. I want to see 2 game 163 tomorrow, and then on Tuesday the wild card game. Because that'd be just great TV as a sports fan, a baseball fan. The thing that I think would be really cool to be able to experience and see.
I think as the MLB as a whole, okay, if you're sitting up there, you're Rob Manfred right now, you're freaking ecstatic. You're hoping for that 163rd game because you want those views. You want those extra people coming in. This is what gets the casual fan to watch. The casual fan loves chaos, and we have so much chaos right now at the top. So he's hoping for 2 game 163s right now.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think that the only bad thing about this is that if you lose game 163 and the other team, the other wild card team, does not have to play 163, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
you are absolutely in trouble.
That'd be a tough debate to have. Like, fortunately, I don't know if it's fortunate or not, but this is a season where 2 teams might be 163 games.
Yes, because if you go back and let's say that the things went a little different. Okay, let's just say that things went a little differently for these ball clubs, and we'll put a hypothetical scenario out there. Say the Cardinals did end up clinching a wild card spot over the Dodgers or the Rockies. So game 163, it's a win or go home, and they would roast almost any arm that they have in order to win those games because it's a game 7 situation. So if you are you're basically getting penalized for tying with your division, and I don't think that that's right. I think that there should be. Baseball is the only sport that you have this wild card scenario where it unfolds like this.
In history of baseball, there have been 5 game 163s.
And we could have 2 this
Yeah,
week.
2 this week.
This week?
That's
That's
crazy.
fallacy, Lex. Baseball is a fallacy in itself.
That would have been a trivia question. How many game 163s has there been?
That
5.
do you know how they decide the who gets home field advantage for that?
I'll figure it out.
I bet that's head-to-head.
It-
I would bet that's head-to-head.
I think that's what they should decide the postseason by. I really do. Who should win the division? I feel like if you have a tiebreaker for it, it should just go ahead and be that. Because if you're looking at the Rockies right now, if they lose game 163, they have to jump on a plane and either drive or fly to Chicago or Milwaukee and play another game like the next day or the day after. I think that that's just completely not fair to those teams that don't win game 163 because they will be they'll be down an arm basically, and that's kind of a bummer.
So I think it is best head-to-head record. But this is a fun fact. This game counted toward your season stats. In 2007, Matt Holliday won the batting average and RBI title because of the game 163.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. That's crazy.
Extra shot, baby.
And
Yeah.
It wasn't really 163 because it was just a wild card game. Those count according to MLB. But sorry, wild cards count sometimes too. I don't know. Very weird things happen over here.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I don't think that should count for your season stats. That's just completely not fair. So guys, let's go through just playoff predictions. So in the AL East, who do we have winning that wild card game?
Actually, I want to go back to that real quick. Up to 2008, the one-game home field playoff in game 163, home field would have been determined by a coin flip.
That's how it should be done in baseball.
In
A coin flip.
Up to 2008, but effective in 2009, home field advantage was determined based on head-to-head record.
Could you imagine playing 162 games and then basically none of that matters at all? And then all of a sudden you're just thrown into a coin flip scenario to get home field advantage in a 163?
That's how we do
That's
play
like
high
some-
school playoff football.
That's like some Friday Night Lights shit when they all meet at that diner or whatever it was and all 3 of them flipped the coins and the 2 that won got to go to the playoffs.
Yes.
That's exactly what that is. That would have been awesome. They put that on national TV for everybody to see.
Why don't you make the other side of the coin? You're definitely going to get heads.
Yeah. That would be a good idea.
Might have to use an MLB provided coin, Leighton.
Yeah. You'd probably be able to buy the coin on MLB Shop, like immediately
Yes.
following the.
It had both teams'
Airing
logos
of
on
it.
both sides.
They give one pin just for the. It'd probably just be a quarter. It'd be out of Bob Manfred's pocket.
It just
Yeah, they get to the table and it's on national TV, and then all of a sudden they get there and somebody's like, "All right, who's got a quarter?" And then somebody's just like digging in their pocket. I feel like Dusty Baker would be there, and Dusty Baker would be the guy with the loose change, just digging in his pocket for 30 minutes.
They don't get there and sit down for it, and okay, where's the coin? And everyone's like, Wait, nobody discussed about what we're doing for a coin?
See, here's the best case scenario.
Dusty Baker would save the day.
Nobody has a coin, and then they go find a homeless dude on the street and just mug him and take all his coins, so that way they have
I have
one.
a better one.
That's not a bad idea.
I have a better way to do this, but more strategy than coin flip. Rock, paper, scissors. That's 2 out of 3.
I think we just have the two managers get in the ring and fist fight.
That would be awesome.
Also good.
Yeah, there's no way Joe Madden would lose to Craig Counsell. Absolutely no way.
I don't know, Joe Madden was a little slow.
Yeah, but he'd outsmart him. So, guys, we'll get to our playoff predictions. So, guys, in the AL, who do we have winning the wild card game?
I'm going to go with the Yankees. It's in the Bronx. They're going to throw Severino. I don't even know how he's going to throw. I can see Severino having a hard time again because he just had rough touches throughout the season. But I'm going to go with the Yankees.
I'm going to go with the Yankees just off the fact that I think since it's going to be in Yankee Stadium and that's a launching pad, I know the A's hit a lot of home runs, but I think this is when the big guys are going to come out and actually play like they should. I just think the Yankees take it, in my opinion. The bullpen's tough in the back end, too, so that'd be tough for the A's.
I feel like this is that time that we get those gifts of the payrolls. I think that this is going to be one of those moments where the A's win. Severino has this blow up. We saw it last year in the wild card game. He did blow up immediately, but the Yankees were able to fight back into the game. But I don't think that that's going to be possible with the Athletics. I mean, the Athletics are loaded in the back half of their bullpen. They know that this is a Game 7. So if they get that lead early on Severino, they're going to be all hands on deck to keep that lead and win this game. There's basically no reason why I think, other than I feel like Severino has that possibility to just implode, and I think that there's a good chance that he's going to do it because he did it last year in the game. But the A's are kind of savvy enough to hold a lead. So I'm ready for the gifts. I'm ready to see the payrolls. We'll know the payrolls for the next whole off season just because they're going to continue to get thrown in our face. And I have the Athletics actually winning that. So guys, you guys have the Red Sox and Yankees. I have the Red Sox and Athletics. Who wins the 5-game set?
Man. Red Sox. Bring it home. We're both at home, then we'll win game 5.
It goes through Beantown.
It's going 5. I think it'll hit Beantown.
You think it'll go 5?
I'm going to go 5.
Because they're going to have... I don't think it'll go 5.
I think it's going to go 5.
Short porch.
I think it's going to go 5.
Actually, the last time Nick Porcello threw at Yankee Stadium, he gave up 1 hit and a complete game. So actually, it could be a fucking sweep.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be a sweep.
It also could be a sweep the other way,
It
too.
won't be.
It could be.
Not possible.
You don't know that. See, Leighton's saying this now, and then when the Yankees are up 2-0, I'm going to be like, Leighton, you okay?
Leighton, are you okay?
I won't be okay.
You okay, Leighton? You alive, bud?
So, who do you have? You have Yankees or Red Sox?
I'm going to give the Red Sox by a coin flip, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have the Red Sox in 4. I don't think that it's going to go 5. The Red Sox have been a model of consistency, like we talked about earlier. Haven't been swept They've been swept one time all season, but that was against a loaded pitching staff with the Indians. So I don't think that that's going to happen with the Red Sox. I think that the Red Sox are the best team in baseball, and I think they're going to prove so in that first series against the Athletics. I actually have the Red Sox beating the Athletics. Neither one has the pitching staff, the Yankees nor the Athletics, to beat the Red Sox. So guys, kind of a good matchup. The Indians and the Astros on the other side of the bracket there in the AL. One team holds the MLB record for strikeouts by a pitching staff. The other has 4 guys who went for over 200 strikeouts this season. Where are we going in this matchup?
Well, the Astros are definitely a better team. But these two teams actually match up really well for a 5-game series because the Indians, like you said, have 4 really good starters. And the Astros pitching staff is really good. Astros overall probably have better hitters. But should the Indians still have Josh Donaldson, Aaron Encarnacion, Francisco Lindor, and Jose Ramirez, I'm going to take the Astros in 4 games. But I can see the Indians winning the series.
I think this is... I wish this was a 7-game series.
I do
This
too.
is going to be a
I do
great
too.
series.
This will be a grinder.
This is going to be a grinder. See, the team on the other side better hope that they win quick.
Yeah.
They better hope that they win quick and they're rested because... And they better hope this series goes all 5, so that way they just burn arms. But this is a tough one. I'm going to give the Astros the edge because I have more trust in Altuve and Correa and all their offense than I do in the Indians' offense.
See, I'm actually going to go with the Indians in this. I do like the Indians just because, we talk about all the strikeouts that the Astros have, but the Indians have 4 guys that have 200 strikeouts this season. Like, so every time that they roll a guy out there to start, that guy is he's a great pitcher. It doesn't matter who's going out there. I know strikeouts don't mean everything, but they mean a lot, and it's kind of a telltale sign of who's that upper echelon of pitching. And I really think that Jose Ramirez is the best player in this series. I think that he's the best everyday player. So I give the pitching edge to the Indians, and I give the Indians that little bump just because they have the best player in this matchup. I think that the Indians are going to win this, but it's going to go 5. I think that it'll go 5, and they'll ultimately win in Minute Maid. So it is set. You guys have the Astros versus the Red Sox. I have the Indians versus the Red Sox. Who is going to the World Series?
I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox. We're the best team at home all season, and all the way through us. I think this will go 7 games, just like the Yankees will go 5 games, but I'm going with us.
I'm going with the Astros. I think the Astros have what it takes to take down the Red Sox in a 7-game series. I think you can't take the woman beater in the back of the bullpen that the Astros have. I think if the Astros offense gets hot, I think they're just as good, if not one of the best offenses in all of baseball. And I truly think the Astros are going to make it to the World Series again. I just don't think that they'll win the World Series.
I'm actually going to go with the Red Sox. I think that the Red Sox are going to make quick work of the A's. I think that that'll only go 3, maybe 4. And the long 5-game set against the Indians is going to kind of wear on it. Or 5-game set against the Astros is going to kind of wear on the Indians. I just think that the Red Sox are the best team in baseball. It's not like they have any kind of hangover from the offseason. And it's hard for me to go against the best team in baseball. I think the Red Sox are going to win the AL this season. So, guys, we'll go ahead and go to the NL. We have to kind of do some housekeeping before we actually set the bracket. So right now, who do you think is going to win the NL Central? The Cubs or the Brewers?
I'm going to go with the Cubs.
I'm going to go with the Cubs, too.
I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I'm going with the Cubs. And so much is in this series. So much. Because you're basically going to go from either... It could come down to game 163, and you're either going to get home field advantage throughout the playoffs, or you're going to be a wild card team. So then we'll go down to the NL West. We have the Rockies or the Dodgers. Guys, who's going to win the NL West?
I'm going to go with the Dodgers.
I'm going to go with the Dodgers just because I have more faith in the Dodgers than I do the Rockies to win today.
I'm actually going to go with the Rockies. I thought initially that they were going to get Scherzer. Today, I thought they were talking about bringing Scherzer back on short rest.
Yeah, if it sounds like they'll keep the Rockies out of the playoffs, Scherzer's going to throw on 4 days rest.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to keep the Dodgers out from winning the division. That's the way it seems.
Did you know if the Rockies do win the division, it's the first time they've ever won the West?
That's crazy.
First time ever.
That's pretty crazy. I'm rooting for it. I'm going with the Rockies winning that. So, guys, you actually have the Brewers and the Rockies in a 1-game wild card. Who's going to win that?
I'm going to go with the Brewers in this one.
I'm going to go with the Brewers because Christian Yelich is a freaking animal right now, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon.
No, I agree. I have the Dodgers with the Brewers. I think that the Brewers, no matter who throws for the Dodgers, I think Christian Yelich is better than everybody else. And I think that he will be able to basically be the whole entire offense, and it'll be enough to beat the Dodgers. And the Brewers are just too hot right now. They are unbelievably hot. I'm going to go with the Brewers winning the wild card. So now we officially have the stage set. We basically different routes, but we have the Brewers versus the Cubs, 5-game series. Cubs have home field advantage, guys. Who are we leaning for in this matchup?
I'm going to go with the Cubs. I think that they're the better team. They've been, arguably the top team in the National League all season long, and I think it's going to continue in this game, or the series.
I'm going to go with the Cubs, too, but I think this will go all 5.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go all 5, and it's going to come down to probably the last inning of the game. I think so.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it will go all 5. I think the difference, though, is that the Cubs, I give them a little bit of an edge due to their pitching. So you guys actually have the Braves and the Rockies, or the Braves and the Dodgers. I have the Braves versus the Rockies. Who do we have making it to the NLCS?
This is going to be a really... it's going to be kind of grinded series like the Indians Astros is going to be. I'm going to go with the Braves that have home field advantage. And basically, they've just been a really solid team all year, and they've surprised me all year long. So I think they're going to surprise me one more time and go ahead and make it to NLCS.
I'm going to go with the Dodgers because I think that they are a way better team than the Braves are. I think what helped the Braves this year so much was the fact that the Nationals are just completely flopped. And I think that the Marlins are a terrible team. I just think that they've benefited from a very weak NL East, and I think the Dodgers are a way better team. I trust Kershaw and Buehler, and they got Machado, Turner. That lineup is deep. I think Dodgers win that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the Braves. I think the Braves are going to advance to the CS just because they kind of remind me of those teams that have success about a year early. The Cubs, the Yankees last year, and those teams always seem to kind of sputter out in the CS. So I'm actually going to go with the Braves just because history tells me that they're a CS team. I mean, the Cubs, I guess it would have been 3 years ago, a year early. They fell short of the World Series, but it was in the CS. Yankees last year. I'm just going to have to ride with that judgment because, I mean, guys, it's baseball. We really don't know anything. We're just taking guesses. So, Cubs and the Dodgers, you guys have as your NLCS. It is a matchup from last year. Who do you have advancing to the World Series?
I'm going to go with the Cubs because the Cubs are considered only the best team nationally, best team all season long. And it's time we have Red Sox Cubs World Series because I'm going to do my trash talk.
That would be, if you're a Theo Epstein fanboy, you're just sitting there looking at that TV just going crazy. Got the meat stud ready. I think the Cubs win that series, and we're going to see a Cubs-Astros World Series actually late.
Oh, all right.
I have the Cubs. I just think that the Brewers are, or the Braves are about a year or just some pitching away from, taking that next step and being, one of the very, very, elite teams in the NL. I don't think that they have the makings to make it to the World Series, but I think they're good enough to make it to the CS. I'm going to go with the Cubs, though. More battle-tested, and the players have been there before. So Leighton and I have the Red Sox and the Cubs, and Lex has the Astros and the Cubs. Guys, who will be your World Series champion?
It all goes through Beantown, baby. And it's this nice, long, 7-game series. Buffalo Hawks will come out on top and win the 4th World Series in 15 years.
Back to back, baby. This is kind of like Drake said. The Astros are going to do it again, based off the fact that Justin Verlander is taking Kate Upton home every night.
I'm going to have to kind of separate myself from my fandom here to make like a really educated pick. The Red Sox have been the best team in baseball. The Cubs have that potential to go out there and lay an egg on occasion, and the Red Sox really don't do that. I mean, the Cubs have the potential to go out there and just get shut out on a random day, and then the next day go out there and score 10 runs. That kind of inconsistency doesn't get the job done on a long stretch throughout October. I actually think that the Red Sox are going to beat the Cubs in the World Series. It pains me to say it, but I think that this is going to be one of probably the highest viewed World Series that we've had, and I think that it will be one of the most exciting World Series that we've had. And I really hope we get Red Sox and Cubs. Obviously, I'm going to be Cubs all the way, but I just don't know if the Cubs have enough to dethrone your regular season champions with the Red Sox. All right, guys, so if you listen to the Monday night show, you know that we are big fans of word association. I'll just kind of read off a phrase or a word, and then you guys kind of just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. So, most disappointing team?
Cleveland Indians.
Nationals.
Nationals.
And then for 90 games, in the Division 180.
Yeah, but they still
won. That's not disappointing.
Indians.
That's not disappointing.
I think it's the Washington Nationals just because this is basically your last year with Harper. That's why it's so
and
disappointing.
You've got Max Scherzer on your staff. And you got Strasburg on your staff.
Close.
Yeah. I mean, they had to sell Gio Gonzalez.
Can we just say this? They're the most overrated team in the history of baseball. We've been talking about them being good for the past 5 years, and they're not good.
Yeah.
They can't win a playoff series. They're just not a good team.
Dude, they are the only team that I can remember that went on a stretch of 5 years of people legitimately picking them to win the World Series, and they never even won a series.
Yeah.
it's an era that's come to an end, and I think they're the most disappointing team. So, guys, most surprising team. I think this one's pretty easy.
Braves.
Braves.
So, guys, we'll get to the Ohtani watch. His season has come to an end. Ohtani's final stats. His batting average was .286. His on-base percentage was .362. He had 22 home runs, 61 RBIs on 322 at-bats. A WAR, which Leighton loves WAR, of 4, and his on-base plus slugging was .930. Finally had Tommy John surgery and will miss all of next season. Guys, we loved it while we had it. Now we have to sit on the shelf for another year.
2 years.
Another 2 years.
Because it's out next year. This whole off season.
Well, I mean, we have to wait. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have to wait another year.
Yeah,
another
I
year
got you.
in baseball term. Guys, do you think we're going to see the same guy that we saw whenever he comes back from Tommy John?
I hope so. That's a chance he throws harder coming from Tommy John. That's not how that thing works.
How crazy would that be? A freaking, because as we know with the history of Ohtani at the beginning of the season, his velocity went up in games. Could you imagine this dude rolling out there in the 6th and 7th inning, gassing 104? I mean, if his velocity goes up, dude, he was throwing like 101 in 6th and 7th innings. I mean, that's not even fair. That's like, yep, our closer's in. It's Ohtani after the 5th inning.
Yeah, that's not fair. But I hope it's all well for Ohtani. I like him a lot. It's a really exciting story.
I hope it goes well for him. An exciting story. I'm biting my tongue on this, but I don't see him being the same player when he comes back. Missing a whole year, he's gonna have to decide after that year: am I hit or am I gonna pitch?
Yeah,
That's what it's gonna come down to.
I agree, and I think we'll get more fielding time. I hope he comes back stronger. I hope the ligament is able to hold up. I hope he goes out there and just, like I said, his velocity goes up and everything, because that would be funny to watch. Just a dude out there, just his velocity's rising throughout the game. He starts off at like a solid 100 and just keeps rising it. But only time will tell. I'm excited for him to get back out there. Hopefully he gets his Rookie of the Year trophy and can, live with that for the next year. So, guys, in place of the actual fallacies, because the season has come to an end, we're going to go through fallacies over the year that we had kind of talked about, and we'll tell you what games they were from, and we'll basically update you on all the fallacies. So we had this one on several games of the show. Garrett Cole did not reach 300 strikeouts. Is anybody surprised?
No. And I think at one point in time, he on pace for 130 strikeouts.
He was on pace for 130?
Yeah, for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. At one point in time, I just wrote on the outline, he's going to get this no matter what we say, because that's how baseball works.
I'm not surprised I didn't reach 300K. That's an absurd amount of strikeouts.
Yeah.
That is an absurd amount of strikeouts, and that's an absurd amount of facing Joey Gallo in a season.
Yeah, that is true. And it was basically like his first 6 games of the season, he had basically thrown like the top 10 amount of strikeouts that he had thrown in any game in his career. I'm not surprised at all he didn't reach 300. From Game 4, we asked, will Joey Votto reach 29 home runs for the 4th straight season? We all said yes.
He got 12.
He got 12.
Yeah.
That is so disappointing.
He lost a bit of power in his old age. Hey, he's had a lot of good years. He'll go and play next year. Hit for an okay average, but Joe Votto's really coming to an end.
Hit 12?
Hit 12 home runs.
Damn.
That's a fallacy in itself.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure it's 12.
How many home runs did Joey Votto hit this year? 12? What?
Yeah.
What?
That was
What?
That was my immediate reaction whenever he said that. That's
Okay,
crazy.
yeah.
He's at
well-
417 OBP.
Yeah,
though.
well,
Yeah, I'll take a 417 OBP if he's only hitting 12
That's
dingers.
true. Father Time's undefeated, Leighton.
Yes, he is. So, guys, from Game 18, the Oakland Athletics are on pace to steal merely 35 bases this season. That would be the fewest in a season since 1980. We asked, will the A's reach 50 steals? They ended up this season with 35 steals. I feel like you see well over 35 pass balls in a season with a guy on base.
Yeah, I can't believe they got what they were on pace for exactly. That never happens.
No, that
Never
doesn't.
what they're on pace for.
No, it doesn't. How crazy is that, though? Do you guys agree with me that you probably see more than 35 pass balls with a dude on base? That's one every 6th game.
You might see one. We got a guy on first, though. Get it, Billy. Guy on third. We got on second.
That's an absurd amount of steals they did not get.
Yeah, 35 steals.
35
They're really
steals.
missing on second base.
They are not aggressive. I think stat like this is why they will not make it far in the playoffs. Not aggressive on the base pass. Sometimes you need to take that risk in a big time game, and they're not going to take it because Billy Bean's up there. Don't run into an out, boys.
Yeah.
Come on, stay there.
Yeah, that is a bummer. I just really can't believe that they did this. So, guys, from Game 10, this is kind of a bizarre one. Paul Goldschmidt was batting 201. See, immediately, I say Paul Goldschmidt, I just assume that he hit over 300. It's weird how the world works. So, Paul Goldschmidt was batting 201 with 6 home runs. We asked, more likely to finish with a 300 average or 30 home runs? Because basically, both were almost out of question.
They're on pace for like 15 or 16 home runs at the time.
Yes. So, guys, he hit 290 with 33 home runs.
Yeah. So his home run pace picked up a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
He really started opening his eyes at the plate.
Yeah, so did his batting average.
Yeah.
To raise at 90
this
points
shows-
in 17 games, 17 weeks, that's pretty good.
This just shows how small a sample size 10 weeks of baseball is. And 10 weeks is a long time. But it's a small sample size, we had that many games to play.
We all had to know that Paul Goldschmidt was going to become Paul Goldschmidt again at some point in the season.
Yeah, he'd remember how to hit.
He'd remember how to hit. You don't forget. Little under 300 average, that's not bad.
No.
He broke the 30 home run threshold. There was only 5 or 6 guys in all of National League that hit over 300 this year.
Mm.
So he's right there at the top with the rest of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. So, guys, view from the cheap seats. I think we're all going to have the same answer, but what are we excited for this week?
It's the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
This time next week, we'll have a different view on every team. Some teams are going to suck all of a sudden, and some team might be amazing.
I'm ready for game 163. I'm ready for all the
gonna be
wild
good.
card games. I'll be watching the wild card games from my cheap seat in my night class on Tuesday night.
I think it's a no-brainer. I'm ready for, if the game 163 is inevitable, I'm ready to be tuned into that. And we basically start off the playoffs right after that with a game 7. So if you're not excited for this time of year and you consider yourself a baseball fan, you're wrong. You're not a baseball fan. And this is the best time for baseball, honestly. So, guys, anything else before we wrap this show up?
For all people out there who are big fans of Home to Hoops Hysteria, that returns in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? How many days?
14 days. Or actual number of days, like 17.
And Fletch has got 6,000 pages of notes.
October 10th is our first Home to Hoops Hysteria.
October 10th. Coming to a podcast near you.
Guys, be excited for that. And on that note, for Lex, for Leighton, and your host Drake, Dippers, as always, stay saucy.